On today's show, we'll meet the creator of the web series, Celibate Nympho, and we'll find out how she created this very entertaining and humorous web series. What I really liked about it too was the high production values that she obtained during the shoot, and it was very well written.
The web series idea came from my 3-year bout with Christian celibacy. A while ago, I was dating guys and letting them know that I wasn't going to give them any, and their response was so funny that I said, well, you know, one day I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to call it 3 weeks, because that's about how long it takes for a guy to realize he's not interested if you're not doing nothing with him. But then after a while, I realized, okay, nobody reads. So when this whole web series and video spoof thing got big, I thought, ooh, I want to do something to put my hat in the contest. And I was thinking of comedic ideas, and I went back to, oh yeah, that book I wanted to write about being celibate could be pretty funny, and I'm already calling myself the Celibate Nympho on my Foxhole radio show. Let's tie that all together with my tweets, because I'm tweeting about my dating life and how much sex I'm not having, and I have all these followers in real life, so I combined the tweets, the Celibate Nympho name, and that whole book idea of being celibate a while ago, put it all together, and then Celibate Nympho Chronicles. People were already looking forward to my next tweet because I really did put myself on a 100-day dick tox on Twitter. Okay. And so I found myself actually compelled to not have sex because I had to report to my followers the next day on how the date went and if I went further or if I did anything. And people were counting on me to get through that 100 days. So when I decided to make a web series, they were already like, oh my gosh, now we get to see what she was going through instead of just reading about it. So yeah, it definitely helped. Thinking about writing, James. I never wrote a word down. I'm not even a writer. I just was thinking, this is so funny, and all of my other celibate church homegirls are having these similar experiences of what a guy will try to talk you into and how many dates he'll, put up with. All the things I was going through were so similar, I thought this book would be a bestseller. But then the web series idea, I ended up trying to get some of my writer friends to write it for me, and I was going to pay them, and they kept putting it off and saying, oh, this is a great idea, but I'm busy writing this and this, that, and the other. And then one of my friends, shouts out to a writer named Owen Smith. He also is a working writer on Are We There Yet and a bunch of other shows. Great guy, comedian. He said, you know what, it's your story, write it yourself. And I go, but Owen, I'm not a writer. And he goes, write it yourself. And so he taught me how to get started, how to brainstorm the ideas, how to flesh out the characters. And I owe my writing to him because I would have never done it myself. He told me to figure out things like, why is she celibate? And why is she a nympho? And we had to figure out a way to make her lovable by guys and girls. Because if you made her too slutty, girls wouldn't like her. And if you made her a male basher, men wouldn't like her. And you had to go into some deep, deep places. I had to actually journal about past relationships so I could figure out what didn't work with this one, what didn't work with that one. Then I started finding common things. And then I was figuring out, okay, but the common thing is really me. And as my web series explores and progresses, you'll see me figuring out what's wrong with me so that I can find Mr. Right. But in the beginning, women are always looking at this guy's a dog and this guy's no good, this guy's a liar, but you have to, bring it within. So he taught me how to just flesh that out, which I didn't want to do.
Right.
It wasn't pretty.
I was gonna even start
exactly. Before I even wrote a piece of dialogue, I did all this work, and then another friend of mine recommended, my friend Dean Edwards, who's also a comedian and writer and an actor, he recommended the book called The War of Art, instead of The Art of War, The War of Art. I read that book, and it pretty much teaches you to just get started, forget about distractions, and the one thing that writers often write about in their blogs is just writing something every day, and just even if you feel like you have writer's block, just sit in front of the computer and just start writing. I swear to you, I didn't want to do it, but every time I sat down, things came to me. And I was like, oh my God, I finished that episode. All right, next episode. Even though I didn't know what I was going to write before I sat down. Well, I saw that it was the next big thing, and I want to be I want to be trendy. I want to be down. So I saw everybody doing it. A couple of my friends had web series that were getting them some attention, and I thought, ooh, I want to do a web series. I want to be in control of something and let people see what I can do. I actually was thinking, I'm so tired of being cast as the girlfriend on this show or the wife on this movie or whatever. I want people to cast me as a funny girl, because I was looking around and all the funny girls would be like a little more heavy or curly hair, just cutesy, quirky, I guess is the word. They were really quirky, and whenever I got cast, I was their friend who was just straight, no jokes, nothing fun about her, but oh yeah, she was in it too. So I said, I'm gonna cast myself in something where I'm silly and physical comedy, and so people can see me in another way, and that's why I incorporated that into the series. And now people are like, oh, it's such a statement, political this, and black women and sex that, and I'm like, no, I just wanted to be funny, but all the other stuff is gravy. I actually have a degree in radio, TV, and film production and management from Cal State Northridge, so We had to do a lot of short films and a lot of TV production when I was in school. So then I started working in front of the camera and I wasn't using the degree, but except for the fact that the knowledge of the degree helps you in front of the camera so you don't waste anybody's money when you're on set. So, putting the crew together and getting everything shot was actually easy because not only have I been working on sets, but I had the degree in the background, but now I'm getting to pick the crew myself and cast it myself and pick the locations and negotiate the prices. And so I'm like, oh, this is what that degree was for. So I really, really enjoyed that. Absolutely. This actually isn't the first thing I produced. It's the first thing I produced that I wrote. So it meant more to me because it was my story. But I produced a film called Love for Sale with Jackie Long, what's her name? Maya. I was gonna say Melissa Gilbert. Jackie Long, Jason Weaver, Shawty, Lamont King, Big Daddy Kane, whatever. I produced that, and I also produced a short film called Kwame World. And Kwame World was years ago, but that was my first time being on the other side of the casting table. And that's what let me know actors, not all of you should be acting. Right. And if you didn't look at the lines before you came in the room, go back outside or go get a job. Right. So I learned a lot from that experience, and then I continued to learn when I finally started casting for the Chronicles and picking the crew and stuff. Another thing I noticed when I was looking for my crew members is the type of people that don't have a reel. When I'm looking for a director or a DP or, just different people in the crew, the types of people and the races actually of people that don't have anything to show me. And they say, oh, if you Google blah, 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 I did some of the work in the middle of that. Or I think if you look up this website, and I'm like, no, where's your stuff? Send me something. So I learned a lot. That's true. And that's why a lot of people at the networks, what they don't tell you is when you finally get that pitch meeting to pitch your show, you have to know how to pitch it. And there are no classes on that. And a lot of people shoot themselves in the foot when they finally get in the door and get that long-awaited meeting. They don't know how to speak up and convince the people in the room that they should buy their show. Regular production stuff, people changing their schedules. For example, Malik Yoba, he's in episode number 3. I hit him up on Twitter and asked him to be in this project. Thank you. Shouts out to social media. I hit him up on Twitter, and I emailed him the script. He loved it, said he definitely wanted to do it, but he lived in New York. So I was gonna fly him out, get him a room, and just have everything happen on a certain date. And then he called and said, and after I had the date set and the crew picked and everything, he called me and said, you know what? On such and such a date, I'm already gonna come to California for another job. Why don't I shoot with you while I'm there? Great idea, saves me money, but now I have to find the crew, because when I called everybody that was on the crew, none of them were available the days that Malik was gonna be in town. So now I had to recrew and find the location. The location I was going to use flaked on me. Another location said, we'll do it for you for $2,000. And I was like, it's a web series. It's gonna be 5 minutes long. I don't need to give you $2,000. So that whole race of trying to get it together for Malik's day in town was why we produce. It's so much fun. It's so stressful. And then when it's over, you're like, oh, I did it. And it all came together. So yeah, that was one of the most challenging things. The first advice, like I just said, is do pre-production. Plan it out. Don't waste anybody's time. Go for quality. Don't just shoot it on your iPhone. Really, you can find a lot of people who do favors. I actually paid for what I wanted, but if you don't have the money, you can find a lot of people at film schools, maybe Cal State Northridge or AFI or UCLA or USC. They all have film students. They all have TV production students that are willing to do things for a favor to get their resume done. So there's no excuse to not showcase what type of role you'd like to be in by writing it yourself, or if you want people to know you're a director, direct something. If you want people to know you can edit, whatever you're trying to showcase, find some people that believe in your vision and go for it, as opposed to saying the man, won't let me, or the same black actors keep booking all the parts. I'm sick of Megan Good and Gabrielle Union. Okay, well, put yourself in something so people will know you're out there, and then it'll be you that everybody's sick of. That's a great question, because I can always do more. I never feel like I'm doing enough marketing, but I do have a website. I already had Tangerine.com for years, and I have CelibateNympho.com. I market on my Twitter page, my Facebook page. When I put it in the LA Web Series Festival as a contestant, they had it on their website, and they put the trailer up, and that just got it thousands of hits right away, because everybody said Celibate Nympho. Even the nerdiest, nicest, quietest married guy is like, I'm gonna click play. So that name actually helped with the marketing alone. And just word of mouth. People just started posting it on their friends' pages and saying, "You gotta watch my homegirl Tangerine's video." So it kind of marketed itself. But I'd love to do more with it. Yes. The first response was when I had it in the LA Web Series Festival. That was the premiere. I had all my friends come to see it because it hadn't been on the web yet. I sat in the back row and really just enjoyed everybody laughing at words that I had written myself and words that I didn't even know were funny, certain parts that I didn't even know were funny. So that was the first response. And then they went on to tell other people, because I even had some executives from TV shows I had worked on that came to the premiere, which touched my heart, and they loved it, told their workers about it. I got cast in a pilot that we shot 4 episodes of it, and that didn't get picked up, but then I got cast in their next pilot, the same production company, and that show actually starts airing on Monday, called Family Time. Yeah, Family Time on Bounce TV's new African American network. But that all came from this producer just believing in me, coming to see the web series and being like, "Oh, this girl's crazy, I want to work with her." I've got a show called Zane's The Jump Off that's coming out on Cinemax, but they saw the Celibate Nympho Chronicles and they're like, "Okay, she's wild, she's sexy, she'll totally be great for this series." So I'm one of the leads in that series. I was asked to direct a couple of commercials that I also was asked to write. And I didn't want to tell people that I didn't direct my web series. I just decided, you know what, they think I directed it, I'm going to pretend I know how to direct. So they gave me the budget I asked for. They gave me the red camera, which if you know anything about production, they're very expensive and look great. And I just directed my butt off for 2 commercials. So it's definitely been bringing me work, and I'm definitely excited that I went ahead and got off my butt and shot this series. Well, I actually been approached by a few companies to negotiate shooting more episodes of this series, but at the same time, they want me to shoot other stuff so that I can put it like as a YouTube partner or one of these new Google Premiere channels or whatever. So it's causing me to have to go back and write other things that I can produce, which is fun because now that I know I can write something and run it by some people and be like, "Is this good?" before I put it out. Which is what all writers do. I was so scared to write, and then I realized when you see an episode of a show, there's like 12 people that help write that 22 minutes. One person's name gets on the episode, but they all pitched in, so I'm about that. Like, "Hey, is this funny?" So, I'm gonna write some more stuff based on the offers that I've gotten and just, see where it goes. I think just time and all of our fancy gadgets. I mean, even my grandmother has an iPad. My mom has a smartphone, even though she's got like a whack plan on it. She's always like, "I don't want to open this text and pay for it." I'm like, "Mom, you have the fanciest phone in the world. You can get online. Why are you counting your text messages?" But I think that technology is moving so fast that the one thing I love about web series is you don't have to ask anybody to leave their house and spend any money or spend 2 hours of their time to watch your movie or get a premium cable channel to watch your show. All they have to do is click play on their phone or click play on a computer that they're already going to be on at some point. So I just think that as time progresses and as technology moves along, more and more people will just accidentally fall in. Somebody will say, "Hey, did you see this?" and they'll click it and go, "Ha ha ha ha." So it'll happen. It'll definitely happen.
Well, thank you so much. That was some great information, and I know a lot of people are going to be inspired by
I hope so.
Doing. Yes, definitely.
Thank you, James, for contacting me. This is cool what you're doing. I love your site and how you're showcasing people and their work.
So what I'd like to highlight from today's interview with Tangerine was when she pointed out the importance of really investigating your character, the main character of your web series, finding out who this character is and what makes him or her tick. She said she did a lot of character development and investigation to decide who she was, why she did what she did, and developing the character before she just dove right into the script. Sometimes web series creators, film writers, script writers who are new to the business sometimes just want to jump right in and start writing. But I always recommend, and as she stressed too, she got opinions from professionals in the business who she respected their opinion. They would give her feedback on her script, on her scenes, on her outline, and as she developed the character along the way, she would find out what they thought and incorporate some of those ideas into the story and into the character. But the bottom line is knowing who your character is before you start writing. You want to know the beginning, the middle, the end. You want to start with an outline and outline how many ever episodes you decide to do so you know where they're going. If there's a saying that goes right from perspiration, not inspiration, meaning that you need to know where you're going as you write so that you're not just winging it. Because a lot of times you may start on a script or an episode and you can't finish it because you don't know where it's going. So that's a bit of good advice from our interview today. I'm James Tucker, and you've been watching The Web Series Show.